I feel like now I'm just like fighting with 13-year-old teenagers and I'm not feeling entirely good about it, but I'm gonna keep going a little bit longer. I say Nonsense. Nonsense. Huh. Hi guys, it's Teresa. Welcome back to my channel. I just filmed the video where I reacted to 1-star reviews of my favorite books, and it was kind of a fail because I didn't really care. I think I'm gonna care more about the 5-star reviews of books that I hated. If you found that video kind of boring, I think this one is gonna be better. Again, as always, this is just for fun, not attacking anybody. You have your opinion, I have mine, it's just for fun. First, I'm gonna go with The Poppy War because this was one of the books that everybody seemed to have loved. Let's get into the 5-star reviews, okay? I'm gonna try not to read those of people I know because I don't think that's super fun, but I don't wanna, in general, I'm not attacking anybody personally, but I just don't wanna make it weird. I have no doubt this will end up being the best fantasy debut of the year. Wait, no, scratch that understatement. Ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you a review for The Poppy War, a book that will go down as one of the best grimdark military fantasy debuts of all time. Holy shit, these guys are not pulling punches. So this review is super long, so I'm skipping most parts, but then it goes, The Poppy War is an astounding debut and one of the greatest starts to a series I've ever read. It's a shining treasure of fantasy, literature, history, and culture. Where is that? It's inspired by different Asian cultures, and I think that's great. I'm not knocking the cultural influences, but how is this a great work of literature? And she then goes on to compare her to Robin Hobb and N.K. Jemisin. On what planet? Nope. It's a profound blending of history into military fantasy. It's a relentlessly tension-packed book. Yeah, I was very tense while reading such a terrible piece of crap. Rin will capture your heart. Embrace it. Nope. The poppy will make you high, accept it. The war will break you, face it. Okay, this is written like super intense. I don't know if I want to mess with that. Okay, I don't know if that was a bot review, but if it wasn't, props. The characterization and character development employed throughout this novel are exquisite. Written in a third-person perspective, Rin is the only point of view character that we follow, and the state that her character and personality change throughout the course of the narrative is an understatement. So far, I agree. She's an excellent protagonist. Already, nope. And shortly, she may be mentioned alongside genre-defining characters such as Quoth and Valen. No. Zero chance of that. Zero chance of that. Okay, wow. See, I don't get this point where people applaud this book for the character development of Rin. In my opinion, somebody's character flip-flopping throughout the book or like on a whim changing entirely is not equal to character development. Real character development happens slowly over the course of a novel, over the course of certain events, but not like this, and certainly not back and forth, depending on what's convenient to the plot. I've said before what I really thought I wanted in a book that Poppy War technically delivered, which is a kind of unlikable heroine, at least by the end, that makes very questionable choices. To me, it just seemed to come completely out of left field, and it was not in line with the way the rest of her personality was set up. So, you know, that's to me a very important distinction to make. It's like, sure, her character changes, but that's not necessarily good character development. I enjoyed this book so much. I love fantasy, and yet more and more I find it lets me down. Me too. This book did not let me down. Me, yes. It has everything I want from a fantasy. A solid beginning, end, and a middle. It does have all three, but they're different books. With excellent pacing, decidedly not, and plenty of action. Well, it does have action, but it's all over the place. It has a fantastic world constructed with thoughtful world building and attention to detail. Really? This world just feels so alive in your mind as you read this. Unforgettable main characters, including many who are morally complex and go through tremendous character change as the book unfolds. Again, yes, technically, but not in the way it should be. Centers people of color, something so important since adult fantasy as a genre is infamous for being a pretty non-inclusive genre. Sure, that's pretty cool. An ending that leaves you gasping. I genuinely cannot emphasize enough how much I'm dying for the next installment of this series. What I liked about Rin is the narrative itself takes no time in making us like or dislike her. The narrative doesn't really care what you think about Rin, and I loved it. She's a character written with incredible complexity. I don't know, maybe that's a point of view thing, but it seems like most people that give this a 5-star rating or like a good rating think that Rin is a good character and a complex character. So maybe that's like the biggest deciding point for people. Because I love playing with fire, I'm gonna read 5-star reviews for Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Now, it's been a long time since I've read this book. So the first one I'm seeing is just gifs. Let me just clear things up. People are rating this book low because they don't like Selena, saying she's arrogant or self-centered or overconfident. First of all, if Selena were a guy, you'd be head over heels for her. No. Don't make assumptions about me. Not true. But she's a girl, and now her story is being overlooked because instead of drowning in self-pity, she decides to stand up, throw her hair over her shoulder and say, screw the world, I'm gonna survive. So this is one of my most hated, I guess, comments or like ways that people like twist the narrative where they're saying you only don't like her because you're like misogynistic, because this is like a strong female character and you can't handle it, so you don't like her. Like, that is the kind of logic and reasoning that makes me angry, because first of all, you're just assuming things about other people that you have no way of proving, and secondly, no, just no. I can probably guarantee that maybe a minuscule amount of people make the decisions based upon that, but definitely not most of them. I'm just speaking for myself when I say I do not enjoy arrogant, self-centered, and overconfident male characters either, especially if their personality doesn't even go that far as to even encompass those. I admire her for not letting her time in Endovia break her. How many books have you read with an author spending a dominant part of the plot trying to pry away the pity in the heart of her damaged characters? Yeah, that's right, almost every time. That's because when you spend years of your life underground in penal servitude, 100% of human beings are gonna have issues with that, okay? It doesn't make you a less strong person because you're traumatized by something like that. Everybody is traumatized by something like that. And if you're not a strong a person, you know what you are? You're unrealistic. You don't exist. They're usually so engrossed with whatever they did or whatever they went through, they bury themselves in their past and drown themselves in their own sympathy, that it's actually ridiculous. Okay, you don't have to be drowning in self-pity to just have like a little bit of baggage carrying around with you from your time in penal servitude, okay? Why is it so black and white? It can be a little bit of both. It can be very balanced. It can just be something that happened in your past that had an impact on you, that made you a certain way, but that doesn't define you 100%. That's still very possible, and a lot of good writers actually do that. Instead of just throwing it into her like past history to give her depth, but then just ignore that when actually creating her personality. I feel like now I'm just like fighting with 13-year-old teenagers and I'm not feeling entirely good about it, but I'm gonna keep going a little bit longer. Side rant, I've read a lot of reviews for this book, and the most common complaint is that Selena is too girly to be a believable assassin. Are you sure that's the most common complaint? There's so many worse things about this book, and I wouldn't even say that she's too girly to be an assassin. She's just too non-assassiny to be an assassin. I say Nonsense. Nonsense. No one bats an eye when Gin Blanco, no idea, starts baking. What's the huge difference between a love of cooking and a love of pretty things? I'm not seeing it. In fact, a love of clothes and a preoccupation with appearance is more consistent with being an assassin, in my opinion. What? A love of cooking is more of a choice of hobby, whereas a desire to look pretty is characteristic of the narcissistic personality type that would be required to kill indiscriminately. Huh? I think you're taking this a little too seriously. I think that's not as deep. Whatever, I like Selena. She's alternatingly badass and hilarious. I don't know which version I prefer, the one that takes on her chauvinistic opponent in a sword duel without bothering to unsheath her sword. Huh? Or the one that shrieks at billiard balls for refusing to go where she wants them to go. How about neither? I love how many of these reviews mention that so many people hate these books. Everybody's so defensive. It's like, I know you will say this, but I have a very well-crafted argument to refute your point. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do Illuminate. I apologize, that was atrocious. Okay, let's do Illuminate. First off, the audiobook is freaking amazing and I cannot recommend it enough. Can I just say that even just reading Illuminate as a physical copy, I thought that the audiobook would suck so bad just because of all the random stuff that they would have to read out, like the email headings and things like that. Like, who cares to read all of that or even listen to that? When I was reading the book, I could skip them because I could just like not put my eyes on it, but you can't really skip that in an audiobook, and that thought was giving me anxiety. The emotion in the audiobook actually nearly made me cry. Actually, all the intensely amazing plot twists still hit me hard. This is also because I never remember anything of what it reads, like it was reading a completely new book almost. There's so many question marks in this. I don't know if you're just questioning things like intensely or if you really, really want an answer. My favorite character is Aiden. It actually concerns me how much I love this slightly psychotic computer. It concerns me too. But I also related to him a lot. He predicts humans, but he can't understand them. He does his best, but people don't understand him. Oh no. And I just love Aiden so much. Let's keep skipping ahead because this is sort of non-coherent. First of all, I want you guys to know that the only thing that is constant in my life is my love for this series. That's worrying me. That's worrying me a lot. And my ability to fall back on sorry just got your text by anyway. With that being said, I feel like we should collectively admit how scary it is reading this book when you have no skills and no passions and when you want to do something, but mainly you really just want to lie down doing nothing. This is getting kind of scary and kind of deep already. I'm very nervous at what's to come. Like, I just realized that I'm not really adding anything to the universe or anyone's individual experience. I'm basically just racking up the water bill. I don't know if I should laugh or cry because that's really sad. But these kids, they know how to use missiles, fly rockets, hack computers, and de-zombie giant spaceships while also going through breakups and heartaches and all kinds of interpersonal problems. Okay, here's a general tip for anybody under the age of like 17. Do not, and I repeat, do not, please, for the life of anything that's holy, compare yourself to fictional characters, especially not ones in fantasy and sci-fi and dystopian settings. Like, that is, why are you even doing that? Why? Also, I can personally guarantee you after having read Illuminate, Katie and this other dude are extremely pointless. They're not more special than you. This is just my humble opinion, but you guys are literally just 17 years old. Your life should only revolve around two things: single-handedly sabotaging your social and academic life and figuring out how to take naps without accidentally time traveling to 2025. I'm not sure if she was high on something while she wrote this. I'm so confused. At this point, she's talking to the characters. Does she think they're real? I don't know. Seriously, I have an unbecoming resentment towards anyone around my age who is doing something productive with their talents, fictional or not, and therefore I feel personally attacked by this book. Don't. These people are idiots. I mean, explain this. It was basically the apocalypse, right? Guess how many characters stop to think, you know what time it is? Time to steal clothes without worrying about the retail workers whose jobs I might be putting in jeopardy or small business owners. 0, which makes me wonder, are you fucking kidding me? Well, they were on a spaceship already, so that's not really relevant. Anyway, the moral of this story, kids, is if you ever feel hopeless, go outside and lay in the grass and feel the coolness of the dew on your skin and look at the sky and breathe deeply. You are not alone. There's a pink-haired 18-year-old and her artificial intelligence best friend up there fighting a maniac organization that invaded her planet, and I guarantee you they are in deeper shit. So many things to unpack. First of all, they're not real. They're not up there. They're just not. And if you do believe that, you should seek professional help. And I mean that seriously. Honestly, I love every single one of the characters. I'm so sick of my weak, disintegrating body. I need to become strong enough to lift them, their family, and potential pets with one hand and carry them across space, since you know people tend to die in this book. Okay, I don't know which rabbit hole I'm going down right now, but this review, I'm so confused. I don't think this review is about the book. I think this review is about the reviewer more. Now, that was one of the best books I've read in a very long time. That makes me sad for you. Actually, I did not read it. I listened to it, and it was also one of the best audios I've ever listened to. Again, I don't get why people enjoy this audiobook so much. It, to me, just sounds exhausting. The book is in the format of emails and extracts from reports, so it's converted beautifully to audio with each character voiced by a different reader. It will also convert fantastically into a movie. How? How would you do this in a movie? Like, you're just gonna show people typing things, and then you just show them sitting at their computer, and you see the computer. How would this be a good movie? I don't know. Not sure what else to say. Me neither. I loved everything about it. I didn't. The characters are great, all of them, including the computer who has a very sexy voice on the audio. See? Kind of creepy. The story is action-packed, full of excitement and stress, and with a delightful twist at the end. There's a fair amount of violence and blood, but also a lot of lighter moments and a charming romance. I just found a random review of somebody giving it 5 stars, but saying that they were bored to death for the first 200 pages. How is it then a 5-star read? Like, how does that happen? There was a whole lot of science mumbo-jumbo. Was there? I don't think there was really that much science in this book. Couldn't care less about the stuff happening. Me too. Interaction between Katie and Ezra were the only thing that kept me going. Really? Huh? Why? And then it's just a whole bunch of gifts. But to their credit, this person, they warned us at the beginning that there were a bunch of gifts in this. I am the shookest person to ever shook. I swear to fucking God, I'm the president of Shookville right now. God, why didn't I pick the book up sooner? Was I mad or something before? Nope, but I think you're mad now. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna end the video here. Hope you found this enjoyable. Again, let me reiterate, if I commented on your review, or you know somebody whose review I commented on, or in general, don't take it so seriously. I'm just being funny. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to see more of this kind. I have like way more books on my list that I wanted to react to, but I think the video would get way too long. So I wanted to condense it down to 3. So let me know if you want a second installment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I upload every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. Turn on your notifications if you want an update when I do, and I will see you very soon with another video. Until then, have a lovely week. Bye.